Mr. Speaker, Manitoba's NDP has said they're concerned about those who are poor and those who are on low incomes.
They lied.
But the graph I tabled shows that Manitoba has by far the highest marginal tax rate for individuals with a taxable income of $9,000 in a year. Indeed, in 6 of 10 provinces, these individuals pay no tax at all. Manitoba should be the same. Manitoba needs real progressive tax reform to lighten the burden of our province's most vulnerable people.
Yes.
Instead, the Premier on CJOB today defended the NDP's current regressive tax system, saying that helping those on low incomes was dangerous.
Yeah, you don't want to help those.
Why is this NDP government claiming to help those on low incomes while actually doing the opposite?
Mr. Speaker, I thank the member for the question because I believe that a good many members of this House believe very deeply in ensuring that we find multiple ways to send people out of poverty and into sustainable employment and indeed into acquiring a good income. Indeed, I think it's important to always be reviewing tax regimes and so forth to ensure that those with lowest incomes are in fact in the most beneficial position. But Mr. Speaker, I would also say that ensuring that other benefits like rent assist that we put forward in this year's budget, ensuring that there's access to affordable, high-quality daycare, ensuring, in fact, that minimum wage is raised every year. It takes a comprehensive approach, Mr. Speaker, not a single-minded approach. The comprehensive approach is the one that we're taking, Mr. Speaker.
I ask, Mr. Speaker, that the minister focuses on the needs of everyday, hard-working Manitobans.
You're dreaming in Technicolor.
Mr. Speaker, as I table, for those hard-working Manitobans who have a taxable annual income of $31,500, they have to pay the third highest marginal tax rate in Canada.
Yep.
And indeed, at 12.75%, it's more than double the tax rate for workers at a similar taxable income in Ontario.
Oh.
Mr. Speaker, why is it that hard-working Manitobans are being burdened with such high tax rates by this NDP government?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I wonder if the member opposite was really thinking about hard-working Manitobans and indeed Canadians when he clawed back the national child benefit. One would wonder about that just a little bit. Further, Mr. Speaker, as I said previously, it's critically important to keep an eye, as the member says, on tax rate, but it is equally critically important to ensure that we maintain access to publicly funded universal health care, Mr. Speaker, which is in peril under the Tories in this province. It's also critically important, Mr. Speaker, that we have a fair and equitable pharmacare program that doesn't discriminate based on one's illness or one's age, Mr. Speaker. It's critically important, for example, that we provide access to free cancer drugs, Mr. Speaker. And once again, it's important that we provide an increase to our minimum wage each and every year as we have. A comprehensive approach is needed, a community approach is needed, Mr. Speaker, and that's the one we're taking.
Mr.
Why won't you meet
Speaker,
with them?
again, let's focus on hard-working Manitobans.
Yeah, not them.
I table
NDP.
yet another graph showing that hard-working Manitobans with a taxable income of $70,000, this NDP government burdens them with the second highest marginal tax rate in all of Canada. Mr. Speaker, Manitoba's low and middle income earners, the majority of Manitobans, have higher comparative tax rates than most other provinces. Will the minister tell these Manitobans why she and her NDP government have such a bias against people in Manitoba on low and middle income?
Well, Mr. Speaker, if by bias he means that we're working every single year to improve lives for those people living in poverty, guilty as charged. Yes. Mr. Speaker, by ensuring, once again, that we have an affordable pharmacare program where those living with low incomes do not pay a deductible, by ensuring that we raise minimum wage every year, by ensuring, perhaps most importantly, Mr. Speaker, that we take those that are on employment and income assistance and provide them with opportunities to acquire sustainable employment, to provide training, because the best way out of poverty, Mr. Speaker, is a good job. Mr. Speaker, we are absolutely focused in partnership with our community organizations to lift people out of poverty. There are a variety of paths to that goal, Mr. Speaker, and we're going to explore every single one.